Hi friends, Nikki Elliott here. I'm going to tell you about my most embarrassing moment today. So I don't actually get embarrassed very easily at all. So that's how you know that this story was pretty bad. Something you should know before I tell this story is that when I was younger, I was a huge fan of David Archuleta. So I was a junior in high school and my friends and I found out that David Archuleta was going to be coming to the Hard Rock Cafe in downtown Denver. The thing about this concert though is that the only way you could go is if you won tickets on the radio. Like seriously, win tickets on the radio. Does anyone ever actually win tickets on the radio? Those of us who are fans of David Archuleta, we were trying to come up with a plan of a way that we could get into this concert without tickets. Turns out, we were all actually going to be at a theater camp in downtown Denver that same weekend, and we were trying to figure out how we could kind of sneak away to get to this concert. We weren't actually supposed to leave this camp. If we got caught leaving, we could get sent home. We found out what time the concert was supposed to start, and it was actually in the morning. We left early in the morning so we could get a good spot in line, and it ended up being really cool because it turns out that when David Archuleta came in, he had to go through the front doors, so he walked right past us. We were so excited. Total fangirl moment. Ah! David Archuleta! When we got up to the front of the line, the lady at the front said, "Excuse me, can I see your tickets?" And we said, "We don't actually have tickets, but is there any way we can still get in?" We weren't rebellious enough to actually try to sneak in. Obviously, that didn't work out very well. But she did give us some insider information. She told us that David Archuleta was going to be doing a meet and greet directly after the concert, starting at around 10 or 10:30. We knew we had to jump at the opportunity, but our classes didn't end until about noon. And remember, we weren't supposed to be leaving. We decided it was going to be worth the risk. We knew the meet and greet would probably last a couple hours, so we figured we had a little bit of time. At about 11 o'clock, me and some of my friends that wanted to go were at a swing dancing class. But the room was tiny and there were tons of people in there. Needless to say, there wasn't really room to dance. At the same time, two of our other friends were doing auditions. Now that was a completely different part of the camp, so they had different time slots. So I asked my friend to take my David Archuleta CD to get him to sign it, just in case I didn't make it there in time. And we finally decided to leave. We knew that we were going to have to get out somewhat sneakily to avoid our theater director. This was a really big convention center though, so we weren't super worried about it. We're walking down the hallway. I was obviously in the lead because I was the most stoked about going to meet David Archuleta. All of a sudden, around a corner, I see our theater director standing right there. It was seriously like something out of a cartoon. I stopped dead in my tracks, and since everyone was following closely behind me, they just like stacked up and ran right into me. You know what I'm talking about, right? After that, we decided to go out a different direction, and we had no problems whatsoever, and we had broken out. My friends and I just start booking it down the 16th Street Mall. So if you know anything about Denver, 16th Street Mall is literally a street that's a mall, and Hard Rock Cafe is right in the middle of it. We finally got to the building, and we walked in, and right there in front of us was David Archuleta. And it just so happens that at that exact moment, my two friends were walking up to him and talking to him. It was like perfect timing. I walked right up to him, and I just said, "Hi, David." And he gave me the weirdest look ever. He was like, I can't even describe what his face was like. It was really awkward. But I couldn't figure out why. I was like, why is he making a face? Like, I've heard he can be kind of shy in person, but this was just past that. This was weird. At that moment, he happened to be signing my CD. And when he finished, there was a group of us. So he said, "Oh, whose CD was this again?" And I said, "Oh, that was my CD." Again, weirdest look ever. He looked up at me, and I could not figure out why he was being so weird. He hands me back my CD, I thank him, and then my friends and I go giggle and fangirl in the corner because David Archuleta talked to me. And then I break myself away, and I look over to the side. Then it dawns on me. I know why he was looking at me that way. There is an entire line of people that I just completely didn't notice, I completely ignored, and I waltzed in there like I owned the place, and I walked straight up to him and I said, "Hey David." So there you have it. That's my most embarrassing moment, embarrassing myself completely in front of David Archuleta.